kind of like some of us, forgot this was happening today, but this is a really, really special moment. I've been looking forward to it for quite a while now. And I want to give a brief little introduction and kind of give you some context to what's happening here today. Okay. If you didn't know me, I'm Miss Michaels, and I do teach the AP African American Studies class. And that is the origin of this very, very special day. So in our very first unit, one of our topics is about learning traditions of Africa. And one of those learning traditions is about oral history. And that there is a tradition in Africa where stories and record keeping is passed down orally through a griot. And that is who we have here today. We have Morikeba Kouyate, who is our griot. So please give him a hand. I'm not going to say too much because he's going to be able to talk with you about his culture and his family and his history. But we were talking before the show here, and we kind of agreed that we wanted to share like a theme, some of our thoughts with you about a theme that we see happening here today. And to be transparent, the theme is really about connections, people who make connections with each other, and how you don't know in that present moment where it's going to lead you someday. And what that means is I want to introduce my friend Larry Millard right here. Everybody give Larry a welcome. So Larry and I both went to undergraduate school together. And, I was a very young 18-year-old and met Larry, who at that time,
Sorry.
I think I lost battery.
Did it die?
Yeah.
We can hear you very well.
Okay. So at that time, Larry was really into drumming. And that was kind of what he was known. He was the drummer. But also we were in the art department together. We both did a lot of industrial arts, glass blowing, ceramics, things like that. We were around campus. We had social time together. And then lives change, and life moves on, and people have these journeys. And then, what was it, this past fall?
David.
Where we saw each other again?
David, will you go help him with that
So
boom
then,
mic?
not even a year ago, we
It
ran
keeps
into
slipping.
each other at an art show.
You just fixed it again. You
And
just tighten it on the top.
Larry's drumming. And to be quite honest, that's how I knew that is Larry Millard, because he was drumming. And I thought, oh my gosh, it's been so long. So we reconnected and we started having a conversation again. What has everybody been up to? Well, lo and behold, Larry has quite a journey, and he's going to talk about it. But that journey now has brought us here today because of our conversations, because of our connections. We were able to bring you an African griot to share with you today. And it's amazing how those relationships that you have with people, you never know when they're going to come full circle again. So Larry's going to talk to you a little bit, and then we're going to get on with the performance.
It doesn't, but I'm going to hold it.
I know. Right? You can. That one, those should be good.
Is it my turn?
It's your turn.
Thank you.
And look, he even dressed brown.
Go Rams. Actually, I had no idea what I was going to wear, and I asked Morikeba. I said, "What am I going to wear?" He said, "Whatever you want." And I felt like orange today, and I did not know that was your school color, so it worked out perfect. And we were talking about history and storytelling. So I want to tell a little bit about my story. I got introduced to African drums in '91. So I'm not sure if we had the internet back then, but I don't think so. But at that time, there wasn't much information. So people kind of talked. And I heard about someone named Morikeba Kouyate. And then now this was after '91. That was probably around '96 when I heard his name. And I heard his CD, and I loved it. And I started putting that CD on before we would have performances. I would always say, we're going to listen to this before we drum, because this is important. And then it was about 4 years after that, around 2000, where I was up in Chicago, and I was in a drum camp. It was a week or two, and this man walks in the room, and I hear chatter, and they say, hey, this is Morikeba Kouyate. And I said, huh? I said, really? Okay. So that was 25 years ago. Little did I know that I'd be standing up here now telling that story. And this is the storyteller. But what I realize now is here I am 25 years later, and I realized that there was a story getting written. And that was my story. So as he comes to share his stories, which go way back, 700, 800 years, through his family, one generation after another, for almost 1,000 years, we're also receiving that story. And that becomes part of our story. So here we are, and we're part of a new story. And we're going to hear some of those old stories today. And I don't know anyone better to do that job than Morikeba Kouyate. So thank you for coming.
Thank you. Very good? Yes. Okay. This instrument is called Kora, K-O-R-A. It's 21 strings. It's made out of wood, like a calabash. Strings are cow skin, and the strings are fishing line. But before fishing line, long time ago, they used to use antelope skin. My dad never used nylon, he say. He burned his fingers, so he always used antelope skin. You cut it with a scissor, with a small piece, and put it in the hot water, and twist it, make it small, or the big one, you put the two together and braid it. That will give you the best sound like. So those you have to have two twisted together to braid it to give you a best sound. So that's how they used to use for a string before nylon. So I'm a griot. I know you're familiar already. Your teacher told you about the griot. I am a griot. It's different than being a musician. Being a musician is a choice. You want to learn how to play music, whatever kind of instrument you want to use is a choice. But for griots, it's not a choice. Like me, when I started playing this instrument when I was 8 years old, I don't have a choice to say today I want to do it or I don't want to do it. It's not a choice. Because I'm the only person who can pass that to my kids, so they will give you a choice to say you want to do it or not. You could be a president. After school, when you come back home, your first schoolwork will be this, because they want to make sure you can pass that to your kids, and then your kids are going to pass that to their kids. So it's not a choice to say, I want to play Kora today or not. No, it's by force homework. Sometimes I skip my homework. Sometimes I go to the soccer field to play soccer. But I get punished to play this first song we're just playing here right now. It's the most difficult songs. So when you skip your homework, you don't do it, you can get punished. It depends how often you do it. And then you can get punished for 2 hours or for 3 hours to play one song with singing non-stop. So they want you to not repeat, to keep doing the same thing to skip your homework. And then you can talk. If something happened between you and the other person, you can report whoever's your friend through you playing this to tell you that it's not just me. I say that here, so. So they will catch the other person too who's skipping the homework. You can say that through the instrument. So you're not speaking Mandingo, otherwise you can tell. But I'm saying that in Mandingo. But if it's English, you're gonna know how to say it. Not just me, not just me. I'm not the only one. So they can get the other person. So that's how I learned how to play it, not the choice. You have to play it and sing. Every song, it came with a story. When you finish the song, and then they'll teach you how to sing it, and then the story behind that song, and then you can move on to go to the next song. So that's how you can train it. It's a home training, but it's a home school. That's how you have to be.
Sujada farana moko juma ninjuma lela pati. Sujada farana kone jara sangaranga. Kone jibami kone. Kone kadawura kone. Kone lela kumbuka bali dala jibami kone. Kone dindekere mundo. Kone musu dindekere mundo di mati ngoge dabele.
This was a sujata. I know your teacher teach you about the griots with the sujata, the Mandi power. But the reason this song was singing to him, one Susu king named Sumawuru Kante, who created the Balafon, who wanted to come to take over Manding. The griot are singing this song for him to come to claim his country before somebody else take it. And then that was his confrontation with Sumawuru Kante, the king of Susu. And then he win the battle, and then everybody sing about him. His mother was the first one singing the song to tell all the women, you need to come and see my lion. There, like today, if God made it good days like today, my son is working. That's a Sunjata. That's his mother sing the song to him. Not in my heart. Correct. For not doing my homework. My dad's always punished me a lot, but my mom, she's very good to convince him for me not to get punished because she named me after her dad. So my mom called me Dad because she named me after her dad's name. I checked my grandpa's name. So I need to tell her something. I appreciate her help every time for me not to get punished. And then I wrote a song for my mom. And then that song, sometimes I use that song when I need some money from her. I sing for her, and then I tell her, Mommy, Mommy, you know what? When I grow up, no matter what I do for you, I'm never gonna pay you. I always owe you a lot. So I named that song, I owe my mom a lot. So I'm gonna play that song with you, and I'd like you to participate with me. So you can sing that song too yourself. When your mom tell you what is this, you say, you can sing that song, it will be good. And then we're gonna sing that song, and then we're gonna clap. Y'all ready to do that with me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's very easy. So today you can say when you get home, you speak Mandinka, because you're not singing in English. Okay?
Okay.
And then you're gonna clap here. Singing, you don't sing. When I stop singing, you respond. And you're gonna say a lot of different things in Mandinka, but your response will be the same. Mama, 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 sao, 3 times. Mama, 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 sao, that's how I go. Mama, sao. Let's practice that. Mama, 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 sao. Your turn.
Mama, sayo.
Okay, now do it with a clap. Now let's see. Let's clap now. Mama, 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 sao. It's like only 5 people here. I'm not hearing nothing, no voice. It's like some people don't know how to sing. Everybody can sing.
Yes.
If you want to sing, you can sing. Let's do it again.
Can I ask another question?
Yeah.
We have the choir here?
Yes, you do.
All right. Good.
Sorry.
Okay, let's start one more time.
Yeah.
Mama, 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 sao. Mama, Good. Very good. We have one more, but we're going to do that, and we're going to save that for last. That different story. Before we continue, did anybody have any question you want to ask? Yes.
Is that drum a cajon or a djembe? What is it?
Yeah, this is kind of a hybrid. It's a cajon, but modeled after a cone. So people call them conga cajon. But I didn't think I was going to play in front of y'all today. I just threw it in my car thinking we might have a chance
You can
to jam. So I would have brought an African drum, but it's
do on the other one because it's a chip that'll reach at the mic and go.
Do anybody have a question?
Can you
Yes.
Can you put them in while I manage? I'm gonna mute
Good
it.
question. Up and down. Yeah, that's how you adjust it, yes. Yes. Say it again.
is it written down? How do you learn the song?
Oh, it's all by ear. It's all by ear. In fact, if you put the paper in front of me here, I'm not gonna know what to do. It's all by ear.
Can I say something? So that's a great question. So in this culture, they didn't have written language, and there's only one building left that goes back from the beginning of that empire. But we do have information that's been transmitted over 700 years through the songs and through the stories. So the role of somebody like him in their community is not just a storyteller, but they're also genealogists, they're historians, and they carry all that information from the past, and then they transmit it throughout the generations.
How long I play? My dad and my grandparents to play, and then my mom taught me how to sing. Yeah.
How many strings?
21.
Test.
My own or the traditional one? My own probably 28. Yeah, I'm going to, even sometimes I record it because my son is in Africa. Like if I made a new song, I'll record it, make an audio, and send it to him so he will practice it.
He took it. I might have one with his name.
I'd like to ask, how many songs do you think you know from the past, and how big are the stories?
I cannot remember how many songs because every song comes to my mind, I'll play it. So I cannot count to say how many songs from generation to generation. They're all here. It's like if you see the page, you know which song you're supposed to be playing. So that's how I have it in my head.
So what that means is we go on the internet or we go to the library, right, to look up information. So I think he's really telling us right now that it's cataloged in him, and then it comes out when the time is right,
Yeah.
which is a very different
When you
way.
name it, I'll play it because it came to me right away. I know which one you're talking about. But for me to count it, I can't. Yes.
What's your favorite song from your history?
This one I'm just playing, I'm singing my mom because that helped me give me money and then also it helped me not to get promise when I was young. So I use that song as my favorite song. Because anytime I'm in trouble, I play that song. And anytime I need some money from her, I play that song next to her. Sometimes when I sit next to her, when she saw me playing that song, she would tell me what you want. Because I know you want something. So that's my favorite one. Yes. Yes. Right, yes.
What are challenges you face in preserving the oral traditions today?
What is it?
What are challenges you face in preserving oral traditions today?
Yeah, what makes it hard to continue keeping that culture alive of telling those stories?
What makes it hard?
Yeah, is there anything that gets in the way to preserve it, to hold it, so we don't lose it?
Well, it's in my head, and then I'm passing it to my son, make sure he know everything like my dad passed everything to me, and then I'm doing the same thing, and everybody else are doing the same thing to keep the story. In Africa, you don't have to be Kora, but some of us play balafon, like a xylophone here, some of us play little instruments called gone, it's like a 6 strings, they're all griots, so it's passing from generation to generation. They don't have to be this particular instrument, but there's some other instruments are also Jali instruments also too.
Does it hurt your fingers when you play, or do you use rosin, like string instruments?
No, when you start playing it, your first months or your first 2-3 weeks, it will swollen. You're going to see it's swollen, but they don't want you to stop playing because it's swollen. You have to play like that until it heals. When it heals, that's it. It never hurt you again. And then I don't have no scars. You can touch my finger, it's soft like yours. But when it's hurt, you stop it. And then when you start it back, when you get healed, you start it back again, you will come back again. When you play it while it's hurting until it get healed, that's it. It never hurt you again. Yes.
What is that instrument called?
Kora, K-O-R-A.
Are you only allowed to like learn one instrument, or are you allowed to learn multiple?
Yeah, you're allowed to learn any instrument you want to, and singing and with the story too, because each songs, like the Western musician, like a Jali like us, we don't compose the songs like a musician, how they compose the songs here. Our songs, every song belongs to one particular person.
So it's not
King or queens, so and then that person's name is going to be there, or the family's name is going to be in that song. That's why when you go to the ceremony, the people will tell you, you don't play our Esther's song, because the last name came with that song. So everybody have that last name, they know you're talking about their ancestors. So that's how we compose the songs.
Yeah, I'd like to say something on that. So, someone can learn how to play this instrument and not be a griot. But if you're Kouyate, if you have his name, you're in a family that's been passing it on for 700 years. So you can't be a Kouyate and not be in that family. And the word that we know as griot was the French were there and they noticed something. They say, who are these people? What are they doing? And they call them griot. So, but there's different types of storytellers. So not all of them play instruments. Some sing, some tell stories, but the Kouyates are the ones that go back to Sanjata Keita, the kingdom of Mali. So this is a specific lineage of storytellers, of one of the largest empires in Africa. And it's one that people are really fascinated with because the stories are amazing, the music is beautiful. But there's all sorts of storytellers throughout Africa, and they have different family lines, different histories. So this is one type, and it's one type that I like so much, and it's really beautiful to see him here and sharing that with all of you. It's really a special thing to have him out.
Okay.
The next question is, how many children do you have, if you do have any? And is there do you start teaching them at a certain age? Or is it more up to the parent on when the children start learning?
Yeah, so how many children do they learn?
They all can learn at the same time, but for me, I started when I was 8. And I have only one son.
So is your son playing that now?
Yeah, he's in Europe right now. He's in computer college down there, but I always sending him songs to play too, so he's playing too.
Okay, so do you think your son knows as much songs as you do, or is it?
Yeah, I'll teach him the traditional songs. So if he want to create his own, that was on him. But I'll teach him all the traditional songs. And with my own creations, some of my own songs, yeah.
So his brother, his sister, how many brothers?
Three brothers.
3 brothers and
Three sisters.
and they're all griot. They're all Jali. And I meet his nephew in Africa when I was there, and his nephew played Kora. So this is something that's still in the family, and they're still doing it. And it's not just him, it's the whole family.
That's a warrior in West Africa, he liked to tell the story. Y'all not sleeping, no? Okay. We're gonna do one more song, and then we're gonna sing, and then it's come with the culture In my culture, I am Mandinko. And Mandinko culture in West Africa, like a country, Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, and Senegal, half of culture is the way to welcome your guests, is a way to say goodbye to your guests. In my culture, right hand, you welcome your guests. First time somebody come to your house, you welcome with the right hand. When the guest is leaving, you second left hand. Left hand means I want to see you back again. I'm gonna miss you. That's a laughter, but you don't have to. If somebody you don't want to visit you, to come to your house no more, you don't have to say nothing. You second right hand back again. So if somebody said your right hand while you're leaving, that's meaning they'll tell you you're not welcome back here again no more. You don't have to say nothing. Just second. You can be smiling and second right hand. As long as you second right hand, she know or he know he's not coming back to that house anymore. So they have a song for that. When you have a guest, you invite the musician to come play for your guest, leaving tomorrow, she or he. The musician saved that song to play. And the last song, that means let the guests know you allow them to play that song because you want her or him to come back to the house. So it's a party songs, clap and singing that make your guests comfortable. The whole family wanted me to come back. They say I'm welcome back here, so they're proud of themselves. So that's the song we're gonna sing. And then now, since I told you, if I'm leaving, if you shake my right hand, you don't want me to come back this Kora again, no. So if you shake my left hand, you were telling me I can come back again. So now we're gonna sing that song also. It's gonna be in Mandinko, it's not gonna be in English. It's very easy. Repeat after me. Mara. Mara. Dinna. Dinna. Mara. Mara. Dinna. Dinna. Mara means left. Dinna means shake my left hand. You tell that to your guests. Shake my left hand. I want you to come back. So Mara. Dinna. Mara. Dinna. Okay.
You hear my word, I say, Jaliada, Analeka Jaliada is the Mandinko word. We are the griot, the God created us to be a griot. This particular song, all the griots play, every song they compose is outside the griot family. But this song is particularly only for us. We entertain ourselves nighttime, after dinner, or after lunch. Could be different instruments they're playing. The females became singing. We sing ourselves to say we're proud to be who we are. We are the griot. We're proud to be who we are. Griots and the society, not just to play instruments. Like I told you, it's not a choice to say you want to be or not, it's in your blood. But also, it's not just to play instrument and singing. It's also, we are the flyer. We are the communicator. Every village, every city have a griot. For example, when I was young, in my town, anybody's wife have a baby, anybody's getting married, any kind of ceremony, or even somebody died, because long time ago, it was no radio station, it was no TV, it was no telephone. The griots are making a communication. What they're making a communication is a drum, it's a sign. For example, every village is going to have a big drum. We call it a tabla. Whoever is the elder for that town is the one who's going to have the drum. Will be his house or her house. Any house you see that drum, you know it's somebody in that compound is older than everybody. You don't belong to nobody. It's for the whole city, but only the elders have it, because any communication comes, they go to the elders, and the elders send people to announce that communication. For example, I'm going to give you an example, like here, and what's the name of this town? Mount Gordon. Anything happen here, they want the next town people to know what's going on. It's a type of way they beat the drum. They have a 911. They have all kind of counties by counting. 3 means something, 2 means something. If you hear the drum, boom, and we wait until the sound go off and beat another one, boom. That's calling somebody important came, another holy man or a king or a queen come to the town. They will informing everybody, whoever have time to go greet her or greet him. This is somebody important. They have an important guest who's visiting that town. If it's a fast 3, like pong, 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 that's emergency. It might be a canoe fall down from the ocean, or it's a fire, or somebody important die. So everybody go to that town. Okay. The difference is, if it happened here, emergency happened here, they feed the tree to send it to the next town. When they hit it, they're going to do 3, but they're going to put the one last one after the sound go down. So they let the other people know they don't have to come to them. It's one town after. So the other side town again, they're going to do the same 3, 911, but they're going to put a 2 on it, meaning the information comes from 2 towns after them. And the other people will send it again, they will do the same emergency, and they might do 3. And then that will let the other people know it's a 3 towns after. That's what the thing is happening. It's not them. Because if everybody do it, you go here, you be confused where, because nobody's talking. It's just a drum sound. But today, it's a sound you have to wait after the beat. That's how you get a communication. Which town, how many towns they're going to put it there after they beat emergency. So also, that's the griot's role. We do that. We have to make that communication. Or we can have a talking drum if it's one small town, and then we walk around the houses to stand on the front of the house and beat it and pay people attention, and then we make an announcement. Whatever the elders say, people to go for meeting is like that. Naming ceremony is like that. Like in West Africa, I'm not going to say Africa, but Africa is a 54 country, and then it's different cultures. But in West Africa, when women have a baby, today is a Tuesday. Next Tuesday, 9 in the morning, will be the naming ceremony. That's the day the baby going to have a name. Baby doesn't come with a name in the hospital in Africa. Father and mother have to discuss which person they're going to name their baby after. It could be mother's side or the father's side, but they have to decide to come with a name on 7 days. Like if women have a baby today, Tuesday, the next Tuesday, 9 o'clock in the morning, everybody going to go to that house to announce the baby's name. That griot have to do that too. It's not anybody. They have to call the griots to come announce that baby's name too. That's our job too. So being a griot and the society is not just to play instrument sing. And also, people have a problem in the family. They cannot agree, they fighting, a lot of problem in the family. The elders will call the griot to go counsel them, to go talk to them, to make a peace. So that's our job too. And when you sometimes people they don't have to, nobody should not send you to go talk to them. When you see it or it come to your attention, this family have a problem, they have a problem. It's a griot's job to engage, and it might be staying, it might take you 1 week or it take you a month, but it's your job to stay there until you resolve that problem. So that's the part of the griot's job too. So we have a very important role to play in the society, not just to play instrument, singing, and partying. No, we have all the kind of responsibility too. When it happens, everybody knows, is a griot here? When they say yes, it's one griot here, that's it. So everybody knows what he's going to be doing or what he's going to be doing. That's her job or that's his job to fix that because he's the guy, he's the griot. So that's us. Yeah. Do you guys have any question? Anybody have a question? Yes? The storyteller?
The question is, are all the songs only what we say real things in history, or are some of them just kind of make believe stories?
No, every songs are a real story. Every song connected to the story. Yes. That's it. Anybody else? Anybody else? What is your question? Oh. Fix the microphone. Okay. What's your question?
Are there any traditions that aren't really done anymore that you wish were still carried on?
We cannot hear you. Say aloud.
Are there any traditions that aren't carried on anymore that you wish were?
Any tradition, any part of your culture that people don't do anymore, but you want to see. Maybe we lost it.
Yeah, it's just some people don't want to do it, but if you are Jali, your family will give you a choice to say.
Do you see anything that people stop doing? And you say, oh, we need to bring this back.
Yeah, I see some people trying to stop doing it, and then we say, no, we have to bring it back. Because that's our life, that's a part of our life. We cannot separate with our life, we cannot change our lifestyle.
I'd like to follow up on that. What I've seen in my travels is when you go to the city, you don't see as much of this. But when you go to the smaller towns, I don't want to just say village because West Africa, it's large, it's diverse. So it's not just city or village, it's not one or the other. But when you go to smaller communities, you're going to see this a lot more. And they come in all sorts of different ways. Like Morikeba said, some's going to have a talking drum, some are going to play Kora. But I think it's something that we're losing in the cities. And
You see these
yeah, they're
and TVs with the smartphones, so some people start getting changed. They have to push them not to follow too much new things to make you forget the old things. Yeah.
So in a city, if you're going to have a wedding, maybe you're going to hire a griot or a Jali to come. So because they have to pay the rent, right? But if you go to a small town or a village, they're just going to know where the wedding is, and they're just going to show up, and people might bring food, or they might give something that he needs. So it's going to be very different, the dynamic of their needs, if it's in the city or if it's in the countryside.
Yeah, so you're right. It's a lot of things. Sometimes people make it an easy way, like this generation now, even the cities, some people have a group text message. They send one message and everybody get it at one time. So they don't use the griots. Yeah, some people do it. Yeah, it's a good question. Yes.
Who is the griot in your hometown while you're here?
I have 3 brothers, and then I have 3 sisters, and then also it's another family. We are cousins. Our fathers are cousins. There's probably by 6 compounds in my town. They're all griots, so there's a bunch of them there. Always somebody there who's going to do it.
And you can go to Google and satellite view. You can go to Bunkili.
Yeah.
Bunkili, Senegal.
Yeah.
You can see the place.
What happens when one of you die without kin? How do you pick who's going to be the next hero?
When the king died, or
Without children, if you were to pass without any children, who would be griot?
Yeah.
what happened is some people leave, they don't have no kids, but it's all the whole family, somebody's going to pick it up to take it off. Yeah, not everybody have a kid, but some people don't have it, but it's always somebody in the family who's going to be taken off. Okay. Okay, one more song for you. Thank you.
And everybody knows how to make it. I forgot to explain.